Hi everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and this is Soft Flow Yoga. Thanks for joining me. Our class today is called Basic Balance. That's exactly what we're going to be doing today. It's going to be walking through some basic balancing poses that I like to teach in some of my other classes. And so I thought we'd break it down here and with the use of some props. So one of the main props that we'll need today is a yoga strap. So if you got a yoga strap or something long like a belt or a jump rope, that would be great for this practice. So I got my yoga strap handy here. I also have a block. We can use that for one of our postures today too. Our supported bridge pose. And it's also something nice to sit on as well. And speaking of sitting on something, how about a nice soft blanket to sit on and to kneel on just to protect our wrists and our knees. And then lastly, just an optional piece is just a big pillow or cushion, something that you can sit on or something that you can use for your Shavasana practice. I just have my yoga bolster here. I'm just going to set it to the side and just have it handy just in case I do use it. So like with every class, let's just start in a very comfortable seated position. You can sit on your pillow, blanket, or block, or even just flat on your yoga mat. And wherever you are, just sit up nice and tall, nice lengthened spine. And we'll start with a few deep breaths. Nice full breath in, and a complete breath out through your mouth. Nice sigh there. Do that one more time. A nice full breath in, and exhale. With that sigh of relief, you might even just already begin to feel your body relax. So just add some gentle movements. It might be a gentle circling of the shoulders, rolling the circles of your shoulders backward, and then forward, and even up and down. Add other movements if you'd like, whatever feels natural here. I'm just moving through my neck by sending my ear down towards shoulder, just getting a light stretch on either side of my neck. And then you just sit in stillness, and we'll just continue to focus on breath. A reminder that breath is the foundation of our practice. It helps us to be here, focused, and centered. So just sit here listening to the sound of your breath. Experience how your body is responding to your breath. For example, you might even feel the breath rising upward from your belly to fill up your lungs. And as you exhale, as you're able, draw your navel inward towards your spine. It's just a light contraction of your abdominal muscles, an engaging feeling here. Let's try that again first. Inhale, just feel yourself sitting up a little taller with a lengthened spine and of course filling up your lungs. Then exhale, drawing belly button in. It's a way of keeping that breath up high in the body. It's an uplifting sensation. We create a lock down low so the breath doesn't fall back down. And that's that light contraction. Uddiyana Bandha is the name in Sanskrit, or the abdominal lock. Let's just do that a few more times. Just getting a good sense of the breath in motion. Feeling it as you engage your body. Good. Just continue to listen and feel. In a moment, we'll add movement to this breath. But first, just take 3 more slow breaths, generating energy in your body to begin movement. We'll start with a very simple movement. When you're ready, inhale and extend your arms out and all the way up, and just treat it like a nice stretch, as if you're going to touch the ceiling. Exhale, extend your arms out like you're going to touch the walls on either side of you, and just bring them back down as you complete that round of breath. Let's do that again. Nice full breath in, reaching out and all the way up. Make sure there's good energy in your hands and fingers. Exhale, extend the arms out and back down. Now go ahead and continue to move at your own pace. You don't have to move exactly how I'm moving. You really just want to listen and feel for your own breath, breathing at your own pace, and then move at that pace. And as you're moving, just continue to feel what's happening inside of you. The energy through your arms, Reaching high, remember to bring good energy to your hands and fingers. Feel what's happening in your shoulders, that motion. When you lift your arms up, feel the extension through the sides of your body. Pay attention to your breathing. Don't forget, with each exhale, you're still connecting to your center, drawing your belly button in towards your spine. Now go ahead and finish the breath that you're on and take 2 more breaths. When you're complete, just come to stillness. Feel everything relax. Notice your breath. While still seated, just bring your hands behind you, maybe just prop up onto your fingertips just to make your arms a bit longer. And you're going to roll the shoulders back as best as you can, just to help open up through your heart. And then just tip your chin up slightly. And what we're creating is a mild back bend, a nice heart opener. So a few breaths with this sensation. Here we go. We'll inhale, and as you inhale, press the fingertips into the floor. Feel the energy shoot up your arms. Remember to fill up your lungs. A nice expansive feeling. You might even feel a light stretch across your chest from shoulder to shoulder. And then your exhale, draw your belly button in towards spine. Again, breathing in. Fill up your lungs, feel that expansiveness. Exhaling, draw belly button in. And as you're able, squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. You're going to bring much more sensation to your body, so feel what's happening. Remember, fingertips pressing to the floor, strong arms, shoulders rolled back, squeezing shoulder blades together, chin slightly tipped up, breathing in, filling up lungs, engaging core with the exhale. 1 more breath. And then just return to neutral. Just lower your chin so you're looking directly forward. Walk your hands toward yourself to rise up nice and tall. You can even bring your hands back down to your lap here. Just return to stillness. And since we performed a back bend, let's do a forward fold. So if your legs are crossed here, let's uncross the legs and come to cobbler's pose or bound angle pose. We're just placing or pressing the soles of the feet together here. Knees are bent and they'll be just kind of out and open. It's okay if they don't touch the floor because they don't have to touch the floor. Here, just hold on to your ankles or shins so you can sit up nice and tall. We're going to inhale and just continue to feel that lengthening through the spine. Fill up your lungs. Exhale, draw belly button in, nice core engagement. And lead with your heart and chin as you hinge forward from your hips, just slightly forward here. Just creating a slight sensation of stretch and release in the inner legs. Now you don't have to go down too far. Just a gentle lean will do, or just to the point where you do feel that light stretch. This is about as far as I'm going to take this, because this feels just fine. And of course, in soft flow, we don't go too far or too deep into our postures. And rather than pushing to 100% of our poses, we like to dial it back to about 60 or 70%. That way you can hold your pose perhaps a little longer without stressing out your body. And certainly gaining the greatest benefit from each pose. As you feel this light stretch, just kind of pay attention to the bent knee, what's happening in the inner leg, because we will be doing a couple of poses, or at least one pose, that will kind of mimic this sensation in one of our balancing postures in our basic balance practice. 2 more breaths here. And just go ahead and hinge your way back up so you're sitting up nice and tall. And again, we'll just hold here for a moment. All right, let's make a transition to our hands and knees. This is where your blanket will probably come in handy. So bring that in. I like to open mine up to a nice rectangle here so I can place the knees at one end, hands at the top end here. So a nice tabletop posture, ready for cat-cow or a cat-cow flow. It's two poses that flow together. So we'll inhale and just tip the chin up, looking forward. Even feel like your heart is moving forward. At the same time, you're tipping the pelvis back, letting the belly drop, and we create this back bend. That's our in-breath. With the exhale, maybe start with the back end. Tuck the pelvis under. Feel the belly button pull up towards spine. Your back will naturally round. Chin towards chest. This is cat. Reverse it. Inhale, tip the pelvis back. Feel the belly drop. There's the arched back. Open the heart, look forward. Inhale, that's the cow pose. Exhale, round it out. So I was just breaking it down there so you can feel or just know what is in motion while we're flowing through these two poses. So go ahead and continue at your own pace, moving through cat and cow. Nice undulation of the spine. Get some movement in the hips. Go ahead and finish the breath that you're on. And take one more. And you'll finish in this tabletop posture like this. Just hold here for a moment. Okay, just keep your focus directly down, just between your thumbs. Your neck is long and neutral, and in the same alignment as the rest of your spine. Even notice the even distribution of weight across both hands, even across both knees. We'll be coming back to this pose a little bit later for one of our balancing postures, actually. All right, let's go ahead and crawl off the blanket. We'll set it to the side. Come back to hands and knees, and we'll get set up for our downward facing dog. So back to our tabletop posture, but let's reset the body. Let's step the hands forward a little bit, and as you step the hands forward, spread out your fingers pretty wide so you feel a stretch between each finger. Even press the palms into the mat, kind of flattening your palms a little bit. As you press into the floor, feel the energy and strength in your arms. Now tuck your toes under. Inhale, let's do another cow pose, that little back bend. Exhale into cat pose, and hold cat. Hold that, keep breathing with toes tucked, hands pressing into the mat. Lift your knees off the floor and continue sending your hips up into the air. And your head will just naturally kind of duck down between the arms. Now you might need to tiptoe forward slightly with the feet. Even adjust your hands. I like to take mine slightly wider here, providing a little bit more space in my shoulders and neck. You can keep a good bend in your knees here, sending hips into the sky. Let's hold for a moment. And then we'll take a step forward, right up to the center of the mat. So your feet are flat on the mat. And then just slide your fingertips towards your toes. You'll be in a forward fold. We'll inhale and slide the hands up to the shins or knees. Hold on the exhale. Almost like our tabletop position when we are on hands and knees. Here's another version of a tabletop. We're just standing now, but bent over so our back is flat, parallel to the floor. Do keep a good bend in the knees and just feel the natural energy of your hamstrings and your core body holding you here. Let's finish standing. Shift your weight into your heels, bend your knees, lower your hips, lift your chest, take your arms out to the side, and just continue standing by driving your heels into the floor. Get nice and tall, reach straight up into the sky. This is extended mountain pose. Then exhale, bring your arms down to your side. Once they're down, just flip the palms forward like this. This is just good posturing across the body. When we turn the palms open, it turns the whole arm, which rotates the shoulders back, really opening up through the chest so we feel tall and proud with good posture, rather than maybe being kind of slumped over like this with rotated shoulders in. So we roll them back. And just hold that for a moment. We're going to move through a half salute to the sun, which is basically forward fold and then come right back up. I'm just going to stand near the top of my mat. Here we go. Inhale, let's extend both arms up into the air. Exhale, arms out to the side, bend your knees, shift your weight back into your hips and heels like you're sitting in a chair. Keep lowering your way down into your belly, perhaps touches your knees or thighs. Let the hands drop, let your head drop. That's forward fold. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins, your knees, extending your spine, just a halfway lift. This exhale, either stay here or fold again down towards toes. Shifting your weight now into your heels so your toes feel light. Bend your knees, lower your hips like you're sitting. At the same time, lift chest. You can even bring hands to thighs. Even press into your thighs to help you stand. Finish standing by extending your arms up into the air. This exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Just another version of mountain pose. Just bringing hands to heart center. We'll take a couple breaths here. Good. Let's go ahead and lower the hands, open the palms. Let's do some standing work here. Meet me at the top of the mat. Moving to a variation of Warrior One. All right, first we start with soft knees. We'll bend the knees and keep them soft. Start sending your weight into your right foot and really root into the ground with that right foot. That right leg will naturally engage. Left leg and foot should be pretty light, so you can easily kind of tap it back until it just kind of naturally stops. Pretty straight back there, heel lifted. Alrighty? We're going to pivot or turn the whole leg outward, just like we turn the shoulder out or the arm out. We turn the leg out so we can set the heel onto the floor. Shift your body weight back to center here, and you should feel pretty balanced here. We're creating a mild lunge, so feet separated, but you want to feel balanced here. So this is pretty much a basic balance pose. Let's continue. Place your hands on your hips, pushing pelvis downward, feeling nice and tall in the torso, making some space in the belt line so you can turn mostly forward this direction. We'll inhale, extend both arms up. On this exhale, just bend your elbows, coming down to about 90 degrees like that. So this is a version of Warrior One. Again, we're paying attention to our basic balance, a lunge situation where there's a little bit of distance between the feet. Now we will be doing this pose again. It'll be a different version where there's more space between the feet. Let's continue. Inhale, extend both arms up. On the exhale, bring the arms down. Place your hands on your hips. Just lean forward. So we're shifting that energy and weight into the front foot. Pick up that left heel. You can even turn that leg in a little bit so everything is facing forward. And then just step forward so your feet are together. Let's finish by standing up nice and tall. Reaching both arms up into the air. Exhale, arms return down to your side. We'll flip the palms forward. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So softening of the knees, shifting weight into the left foot, nice and strong. Okay, let's feel the lightness of the right foot so you can start tapping the right foot back, heel lifted, you're on your toes. That back leg relatively straight. Let's get that outer rotation of that back leg, plant the heel, feel the body weight shift, finding center for this balance. Hands on hips. Push pelvis down as you lift up through the spine and torso, making space in the midsection so you can turn to face forward. Inhale, extend both arms up. Exhale, bend elbows. Here's our 90-degree angle. Holding for a few moments. Now this front leg, bent knee and toes pointing forward. That back leg, it's mostly straight, but there is a slight bend in that knee. Let's continue. Inhale, extend both arms up. Exhale, bring the arms back down. Hands on hips if you'd like here. Shifting weight into that front foot. So you can pick up that back heel, turn that leg inward so all 10 toes are pointing forward, ready to step forward. Let's finish by standing nice and tall. Inhale, reaching up into the air. Exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Finishing that whole sequence. Very nice. All right, let's move through a slow motion sun salutation. Again, we're just breaking it down, and then we'll get ready to move into some of our balancing poses. So here we go. Let's drop the hands, reach out and up as you inhale. Exhale, swan dive, or spread your wings, bend your knees, And sit back and down into your imaginary chair as you come down towards toes. Inhale, rise up halfway to that tabletop position. This exhale, fold, bend your knees a whole lot. Get low enough so you can place your hands on your mat. Walk or step both feet back to the back end of your mat. And then straighten out the body so it's relatively a straight line from head to heel. This is plank pose. Take a breath in. This exhale, bend your knees a little bit, but then send your hips up into the air. It's a return to downward facing dog. You may need to tiptoe forward a little bit, make some adjustments with the feet and your hands. Your ears may align right next to your arms. Let's continue. We're going to be moving to that second version of Warrior One. Pick up your right foot and extend the right leg straight back. See if you can get it as straight as can be, which means it doesn't have to lift very high. Inhale again. In the exhale, bend the right knee. You're going to bring this right knee in underneath you towards your chest or chin as you shift your whole upper body forward until your shoulders are nicely aligned over the wrist. Set the right foot down, or just the toes. The heel is lifted. Set the left knee onto the floor. We're doing this because just in case you can't get that right foot all the way up to your right hand, this is a variation. So we shift the weight back. So I can take the weight off this right hand, go get the right foot, pick it up and place it up a little higher on the mat. This is the setup to create a little bit more distance between the feet for Warrior One. Let's pick up the left knee, pivot, left heel to the floor. It's that outer spiral or outer rotation of that left leg. You're going to walk your hands back towards the foot, rise up to fingertips. Notice how my hips shift back. Again, I'm finding balance between both feet here. Keeping the right knee bent, knee and toes pointing forward. I'm going to walk both hands up to the thigh, pushing into mid-thigh here, not your knee, mid-thigh to help you extend spine. So we're here. Make sure there's some good pressure in that back foot because a lot of energy is shooting forward. We want to maintain balance so we can even hold this posture. Let's take the arms out to the side, rising up, reaching up into the air. Exhale, just finish this lunge, and you'll be in the second version of Warrior One. Notice arms are straight up, a little bit more distance between the feet. We want to feel balanced here. Let's go ahead and inhale. Exhale, turn your torso towards the left side of the room and bring your arms down to parallel to the floor. If you need to, make some adjustments with your feet and leg, primarily this back foot. I like to turn it out a little bit so it just feels a bit more natural through the hip, knee, and ankle. Right knee is still bent, lunging forward, and directly over the heel or ankle, and it's pointing forward there. Warrior Two. Let's just keep adding on. Let's reach forward a little bit to angle the upper half of the body. We're going to rotate the arms here so either your hand or your arm rests on this thigh very lightly. Meanwhile, your left hand is reaching straight up into the air. You want to feel this nice opening sensation. So your heart and hips are really just opening up to the side of the room. A couple more breaths. Very nice. Let's inhale just to open up a little bit more. On the exhale, I like to lift out of that tipped sensation. Turn, flip the arms out, flip the palms up, fold, bring hands to the floor, rise up onto tiptoes behind, so kind of get into this runner's lunge. Press firmly down into the mat so hands and arms are strong. That way you can slide this right foot back. You've made a return to plank. Then bend knees, send hips up into the air, downward facing dog. Step into place by adjusting your feet and your hands, sinking the chest a little bit, ears aligned next to your arms. Let's do the exact same thing on the other side. Let's pick up the left foot and extend the left leg back with an inhale. Hold on the exhale, just hold here for a moment. Getting ready to move, we inhale again. Exhale, bend left knee, bring the left knee in towards your chest or chin, shifting forward so your shoulders are over your wrists. We're just setting the left foot down. Again, just in case you can't get the foot all the way up to the hand. Let's set the right knee down. pull the weight away from the hands. So this left hand is light enough to go get the left foot, picking up by the ankle and setting it up closer to the hand. It's basically just behind the wrist. Relift the right knee, pivot or turn right heel to the floor. A lot of weight is forward, so I'm stepping the hands back so they're at foot level. Rise to fingertips, then bring both hands up to the thigh, lifting just enough to extend spine. Let's pay attention to that back foot, rooted into the floor. We're establishing balance here, even distribution of weight down below. Not a whole lot of weight that way, not a whole lot of weight that way. It's centered. Extend your arms out as you rise up and reach both arms up into the air. Inhale, exhale, finish with the lunge. Here's our warrior one, second version. A couple breaths here just to feel the sensation of being here. Then inhale, getting ready to move. Exhale, turn your torso now to the right side of the room as you bring your arms down to parallel. Make any adjustments with this back leg. I like to turn that out. Check in with left knee and toes, still pointing directly forward. Torso nice and tall here. Arms extended. Then side angle pose, reaching out over this left thigh. Just a little bit is fine. Rotate the arm so this left hand or left arm comes down to the thigh. Now you could go much lower, but for soft flow, we like to keep it somewhat mild. Meanwhile, the right hand reaching straight up. A couple breaths here. Nice opening up through the chest. All of these postures that we're doing really do help us actually balance on one foot. A lot of the balance work we've been doing so far has been on 2 feet. Let's take a breath in. And exhale, we're kind of lifting, turning forward, arms forward, flip palms up. Then fold, bringing hands down to the floor. Rise up onto tiptoes. Heel lifted, everything's facing forward. Press firmly into the ground with the hands. Strong hands and arms. We can pull this left foot back. We've returned to plank pose. Hold for strength. And we'll set the knees onto the floor here. Sit back briefly in hero. And meanwhile, want to make sure your block is nearby because we're going to sit down and then lie down. So just slide off the feet, bring the legs around to the front. You might need to scoot forward so you're sitting in the center of your mat, and then go ahead and roll down onto your back. Again, being sure you can easily grab your block. While we're down, go ahead and bring the knees into chest and add some movement here as it feels good. I like to add some rocking sensations just to soothe the back a little bit and the hips. And we've been doing a lot of standing, so let's just circle the ankles here. Circle them one direction and then the other direction. You might even want to do the same with your wrists, since we were doing those plank poses and downward facing dogs. Now another reason why we're kind of circling the ankles is that we're getting ready for tree pose that comes later, which is a standing balancing posture. But for now, let's move into a back bend. Let's set the feet onto the floor. Even take the feet a little wider than hips, which is just fine here. Take a breath in, fill up your lungs. Nice full breath in. You can exhale through the mouth to feel the air leave the belly, kind of emptying the belly there. Towards the end of that exhale, lift the hips up off the floor, grab your block, and then slide underneath you. And then take a seat. Now I flipped my block up one notch here, so I just have a good sense of a lift, but not too high, but certainly not too low. I also like to get my shoulders a little bit underneath me, so I'm just rocking the upper body left and right several times to get the shoulders and arms underneath. So I get a sense that the backs of my shoulders are pressing into the floor. Just holding here. You can even just kind of relax into this position and just take some deep breaths. Since we'll be doing some balancing work, let's do a little practice here of extending one leg as if we were maybe even balancing on one foot. So let's do this while we're still in the supported bridge pose. If the feet are wide on your mat, just kind of bring them in a little bit closer. So perhaps you're
knees and feet are about hip distance apart. Now really press into the floor as best as you can with your left foot. We're picking up the right foot and extend the right leg into the air. Now don't worry if the leg is bent like mine, and don't even worry if your leg is kind of low. It doesn't have to be exactly straight, and it doesn't have to reach straight up. You can flex the foot here for a few seconds and even point your toes. All right, so just kind of simulating, mimicking, balancing, standing on one foot, and just feeling the extension of the other leg. All right, let's go ahead and bend this right knee, set the foot onto the floor, pause for a moment, take a breath, and we'll do the other side. Being sure your right foot feels well connected to the earth. Begin your exhale. Let's pick up the left foot. You might even feel like you're drawing the knee towards chest, then extend the leg as best as you can. And of course, it doesn't have to extend all the way. Here is fine. Flexing the foot gives the leg some energy. Even pointing your toes gives the leg some energy. And one more breath. Let's go ahead and bend this left knee. We'll set the foot onto the floor. Pause for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and kind of heel toe my feet out wide again, just for a little bit more support. Because here I'm pressing feet into the floor, lifting hips high enough now to remove the block, place it on the floor, and then roll down to the ground. Once we're down, feel free to extend your legs out in front of you and extend your arms back behind you. Nice stretch here. Or we're going to rise up to a seated position. So you might want to hug both knees into chest. Now you're welcome to rock your way up to seated, but if that takes a little bit too much energy or just aggravates your back or hips, maybe just roll to your side and then press yourself up until you're in the seated position. We're going to do a mild boat pose, or a variation of boat pose, which is a wonderful core strengthening posture. Keeping your knees bent, like so, heels on the floor. Do flex your feet. Hold on to the backs of your legs and just lift yourself up until you just feel the fullest extension of your spine as possible. You are going to lean back a little bit. This is enough here. And this is basically the end of the pose. Now we're just inhaling, just continuing to feel the length of the spine. Fill up your lungs like we did earlier. Exhaling, you can exhale through the mouth. Let the air leave the belly, but feel the contraction of the muscles in your core, your abdominal system. Really getting strong here. Now we're emphasizing this area because that too helps with balance, especially balancing on one foot, which we're getting to next. 2 more breaths. We're just kind of softening up a little bit here. I'm just going to swing my legs to one side, just kind of really just swinging around so I can get my return to this tabletop posture like this. And maybe 1 cat-cow flow here, maybe 2. Let's do 2. Hold on the exhale, or hold cat pose on the exhale. Keep breathing. Step your hands forward slightly. Let's return to down dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, send your hips into the air. Let the head kind of sink between the arms. Looking down at the mat, take a few steps, or as many as you need to get to the center of your mat with your feet firm on the ground with both feet. Slide your fingertips towards toes. Now, feel the weight shift into your heels. Toes feel light. Bend your knees, lower your hips, lift the chest just a bit so you can take the arms out. Drive heels into the floor, stand up nice and tall, reach up into the sky, exhale, bring your arms down, and let's flip the palms forward, back to our mountain pose. Very good. All right, now I'm going to break down tree pose. Now what I like to add for tree pose is actually a prop, maybe even 2. One of the props is actually one of your blocks. I'm going to place it right here for now, just on my right side.
We're just going to say it's your left side, okay? So just on this side of your body. The other prop that you're welcome to use, if you happen to be near maybe a chair or table or wall, you can even use that as a prop to help you balance. Perfectly fine for this. I'm just going to do it freely here. So just follow me, just break this down. So I'm standing pretty close to my block. So it's on your left side. Soften the knees a little bit. Send weight into your right foot. Feel tall and inhale to lift and lengthen through your spine. Exhale, pull belly in. Core engagement. I'm just peeling the left heel up off the floor. Lifting the foot, turning the knee out and just placing the toes on the block here, just like that. So the knee is turned out, hip opener, feeling tall. So this is a version of tree pose. I'm going to do another version in a moment. But this is kind of mimicking what we did a long time ago at the beginning of our practice, that cobbler's pose. The feet were together, knees were bent and out. And I had you pay attention to the sensation here, because it's somewhat similar. Okay, let's finish up our tree pose. Inhale, take both arms up, reaching into the sky. Now, of course, this is just one variation of the pose, using the block here for, I like to call it a pedestal, just to mimic standing on one foot and balancing. Or we're going to do the second version. Let's bring the arms down. We'll swing this left knee forward, lifting knee and foot off the block, set the foot onto the floor. And feel free to kind of stretch that out. We're going to do the exact same leg. Alrighty? Now here, this is where you might want to use your wall or table or chair for a little extra balance on the right side. Alrighty. Soften the knees, shifting weight into your right foot. Use that wall or support on the side if you need to. Inhale, get tall, lengthen spine. Exhale, pull belly in. That's our setup, preparing the body. Peel heel, left heel off the floor, lifting knee, flexed foot. Lifting, swing the knee out, this time placing the foot on the inside of your standing leg. Again, use balance or something to support you on this side. If the hand is on something, just take your left arm out and up into the air. Or if you've got this freely, go ahead and extend both arms up. So this is the other version of tree pose. Now I can already feel myself wobbling a little bit, and it's okay to wobble. You might even kind of fall out of the pose. That's okay. All right, let's keep the arms extended this time. Let's swing this left knee forward, lifting knee, flexed foot. Plant the foot back down into the ground, rebalance on 2 feet, and go ahead and bring your arms back down. All righty. Finishing up by a little stretch through the whole body, kind of shake it loose. And I'm just going to move my block just to the other side. Now on my right side, ready for the other balance. Okay? So standing nice and tall. Soft knees, now shift weight into your left foot. Okay, nice strong connection. Inhale, get long in the spine. Exhale, core connection. Ready to peel heel, right heel off the floor. Lift the foot, turn the knee out, set the toes on your pedestal. Right there. Inhale, take both arms up, or at least one arm up if you are using something for balance. Wonderful way to practice tree pose. Even in other styles of yoga and they practice tree pose, feel free to use this version. Use that block. Perfectly fine. All right, let's keep the arms extended here. Actually, we'll bring the arms down. Let's bring the arms down. We'll turn this right knee forward, lifting the knee and placing foot on the floor. There we are. You can shake that out. All right, let's do our second version here. Using a wall on this side or a chair or a table, or turn around if you need to. Soften the knees, shifting weight into the left foot. The knee stays bent here. Just want to feel that strength in the leg. But do lengthen through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, draw belly in. We're picking up the right foot high as can be, or at least thighs parallel to the floor. Knee swings out, placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. Then, with one arm or two, depending on if you're using something for support, take the arms up into the air. Holding here. Now, a thing that helps with balance is focus. So focus on something out in front of you. either directly in front of you, across the room, or even down at the ground. Oh, it won't be here too long. Let's keep the arms extended. Let's swing this knee forward, lifting knee, flex foot, plant the foot into the earth, balance on 2 feet, arms come back down. Now we can relax. All right. We have one more balance thing to do here, but I'm going to change props. Okay, we're going to move the block out of the way, bring in a strap, and here you may want to use a wall. So I'm just going to move my blanket here to get a little closer to the wall. Let me unroll my strap here. All right, so if you've got your jump rope or yoga strap, we're going to place it underneath right foot. And that's going to be the leg that's extending, so I need to turn this way. So I'm just getting the strap around the bottom of the foot. I'm just kind of basically just wrapping the rest of the strap around my hand so I have a good grip. All right, I'm just turning at an angle so I can use this wall here. So soft knees, shifting weight into the left foot. I'm going to use this wall. I'm picking up the right foot and extending the leg forward. Just like we did lying down, I had you extend a leg. We're doing the same thing here. Here, you don't have to worry about fully extending the leg if it doesn't fully extend, but maybe because you're using the strap, you're able to fully extend. And if you notice, I'm kind of leaning back. I'm going to try to get as tall as I can here. Okay, straight up and down. Again, don't worry if this leg doesn't lift very high and this knee can be bent. So just another form of balancing on one foot. And if you want to try, you can even free up this hand. When you're done, bend the knee. We'll set the foot onto the floor, and we can remove the strap. Walk it out. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So I'm just going to place the strap underneath the left foot here, because that's going to be the leg that's extending. Kind of wrap the strap around the hand. Ready to go. Nice and tall to begin. I already have my hand on the wall. Soft knees, shifting weight into the right foot, picking up the left and extending. Same thing here. Don't worry about the fully extended leg. And it doesn't have to lift very high. I mean, here's another version of this leg extension. This is something you could work towards, but you don't have to do that today. It could be lower and slightly bent. Use the wall for balance. Be sure you're not leaning back too far, but nice and tall. All right, if you want to try to free up this hand, go ahead and do that too. All right, all done. We're going to bend the knee, place the foot back down onto the floor. We're done, so we're just releasing the strap. All right, all done. So let's place it on the mat there, and let's go ahead and return to mountain pose, standing near the top of the mat. Let's make our way back down to the earth. We have one more balancing pose to do, and then we're going to finish up the practice. Here we go. Inhale, extend arms out and up. Exhale, spread your wings, bend your knees. Fold forward, belly down towards thighs. Releasing head, neck, and shoulders right here. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees, extending through your spine. Right there. Exhale, fold as low as you can get so you can place your hands on the mat. Walk both feet back into plank pose. Now you might be high in the hips right there, so just lower the hips, but not too low, right about here. I like to have my hips about shoulder level for this posture. Hold for strength, and then we'll set the knees onto the floor. Now we need that blanket again, just for a little added padding for the hands and knees like we did earlier. So I'm going to bring my blanket back in, right here. So knees at one end, hands at the other end. Right here. Now when we were first here, we moved into cat-cow. This next time, we are moving into what's called spinal balance. So another balancing pose, but on our hands and knees. So let's first move into cow. Inhale, just feel that arched back feeling. Exhale, round it out into cat and hold cat, but keep breathing and just follow my instructions. Just kind of shift your weight a little bit into your right hand and right knee. This should free up the left knee so you can extend the left leg back, but keep your toes on the floor. Just extend the leg as best as you can.
Now shift your weight over to your left hand, so your right hand feels a little lighter, so you can extend your right arm forward. This is spinal balance, holding here, because this does take balance. You can keep the toes on the floor or lift the foot. I'm going to keep it on the floor right now. The energetic movement that's happening here is extension, reaching through this free hand, even back through that left heel. Another action is squeezing to center. First, pull belly button up towards spine. Feel your arms squeeze in towards your center or your spinal column while your legs are doing the same thing. All right, let's bring this right hand down. Left knee comes down. Tuck your toes under so you can kind of sit back to what I call half hero. So we can take that pressure, especially off that left hand, because I was taking all that weight, and maybe just give it a little massage. Like some circles here, even a gentle press of the top of the hand on your blanket. I like to do some light pulses there. And you can even just sit back for a moment. So that's spinal balance. It's another way of engaging the body to experience balance because we are extending opposite limbs. All right, let's do the other side. Back to our tabletop posture, starting with cat-cow. It starts with cow. That's the inhale for the back bend. Exhale, round the spine to cat. Hold cat. Shifting weight into your left hand and left knee. So you can free up the right leg and extend that leg back, keeping toes on the floor. Shifting the weight and energy over to the right hand now, so I can free up the left hand and extend the arm forward. Now, we were first in cat, that rounded spine, but because of these extensions, it kind of lengthens the spine a little bit. All right, so find that even distribution of weight, right hand, left knee on the ground. Okay, the extended limbs, left arm and right leg behind and in front, starts that balance. Then hug to center. Start with belly button. And even feel like your inner arms are squeezing in towards each other and the legs are doing the same. Breathe in. And the exhale, let's bring our limbs back down to the earth. Tuck the toes. Sit back half hero so we can give relief to the right hand. And that's pretty much our full basic balance practice. All right, let's make our way down to the earth to finish up this yoga class together. All right, just going to sit in the center of the mat. Get the legs out front here. Make sure there's room behind you. Roll down onto your back. Go ahead and draw the knees into your body. Add some movement as it feels good. Return to a little gentle massage of the ankles and feet. Since we did some balancing work, standing on one foot. Check in with your wrists again, since we just did those spinal balance postures. Now you're going to lightly flex the feet, hold on to your knees or shins, and take the legs gently apart, right about here. If your elbows or arms reach the floor, go ahead and do that. And if that's the case, if you can do that, you can kind of open your palms and let your legs kind of rest in your hands. So it's just a light hip opener here. And just a few breaths. And then we're ready to finish with a twist. So let's bring the legs together. Let's take both knees over to the left side while you extend your right arm out to the right side. And just settle into this nice spinal rotation. Notice what's happening in your body. What sensations arise in your body. I notice this in my low back, even my right hip and right shoulder. So noticing the sensations, but staying as calm and comfortable as possible. Just pay attention to your deep breathing. We'll take 2 more breaths. Let's bring knees back up to center. You might even pause here for a moment just to allow the spine to realign. And then we'll take the knees over to the other side. Spinal twist. We did a spinal balance. This is spinal twist. So knees to the right, left arm out to the left. Nice deep breathing with the awareness of the sensations in your body. And if at any time in this pose, or really any pose that we practice together, if you feel a little uncomfortable or something feels like it's binding or pinching in any way that's not comfortable, just adjust your body. Just make some shifts. Even lighten the pose a bit more if you need to. Or if you need to, you can always come out of the pose completely. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then let's return the knees to center. Maybe hug the knees in towards body once again. We'll set the feet onto the floor. We're getting ready for Shavasana. So that just means extending your legs out front with your arms down by your side. I'm going to bring in my cushion here. So it's behind me, so I'm just bringing it up over my head. And actually placing this bolster, it can just be your big pillow, underneath my knees. It just creates a little bend in the knees. And sometimes this actually feels a little bit more comfortable than lying flat on a hardwood floor or even a carpet with a yoga mat. Just giving a little bit of elevation or bend in the knees is nice. If you need some extra padding, let's say for your head and neck, you can just use your blanket or even a towel. So I'm just going to bring the blanket back behind me here. Since you'll be spending some time here, you do want to feel comfortable and completely relaxed. So once you are settled in, take a deep breath or 2, feel your whole body just release. Feel free to close your eyes here. If you fall asleep, that's okay. But if you're able, stay mindful, stay connected, just aware of the breath, the feeling and the sound. Notice how your body is continuing to relax. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like, especially if you feel quite comfortable here. Go ahead and take advantage of this moment, this opportunity to continue to take care of yourself, this moment of stillness and silence, a moment of meditation. Again, feel free to stay here as long as you like, even as I end the practice. You're welcome to stay in this lying down position, even when I come up to seated. And when you are ready to move, you might start with breath, taking some deep breaths, 3 breaths, 5 breaths, just enough to generate some new energy in the body and producing movement in your body. And when you're ready to move, carefully and slowly roll to one side of your body, and then guide your way up to seated. Feel free to sit on your pillow or blanket or block,
or just on your yoga mat. Wherever you are, do your best to sit up nice and tall with a lengthened spine. Shoulders are relaxed, arms are down by your side. Your hands can just rest in your lap or on your knees for a moment. And then one more movement together. We'll inhale, extend the arms out and up. As you exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Here, take one more breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.